Now you see me, now you don't. It's that classic idea, right? Vanishing. We've always been kind of fascinated by it.
It pops up everywhere.
Exactly. And today, we're not just, thinking about it generally. We're diving into one specific version, the Snake Talisman from Jackie Chan Adventures.
Ah, one of the 12. Good one.
Yeah. And we've got a great resource here, the Jackie Chan Adventures Wiki. It's fan-made, super detailed, gives us the lowdown on his origins, powers, all the weird places it showed up.
It's amazing what fans compile online. Really useful for this kind of deep dive.
Totally. So consider this our mission, if you will, to really get under the hood of this talisman, figure out what makes it tick in that world.
And maybe see how it, connects to our own ideas about being unseen. Because
Yeah.
it's not always straightforward.
Definitely not. Okay, so first things first, where did this thing even come from?
Right, it wasn't just lying around.
No, our source says it was actually created when Lo Pei, the sorcerer, turned the big bad demon Shendu into a statue.
Ah, yeah, the petrification.
Yeah.
That's key.
It seems like when that happened, Shendu's powers got split off and, well, invisibility became the snake talisman. Pretty dramatic origin.
It really ties it directly to Shendu, doesn't it? Each talisman is like a piece of his original power. Gives it weight.
And finding it sounds just as dramatic, it was apparently hidden away.
Where was it again? Somewhere exotic?
Yeah, near the Amazon River, in a secret passage, inside an ancient snake temple. You can't make this stuff up.
Perfect setting. Snake temple for the snake talisman. Adds that layer of ancient mystery,
Totally. So, let's talk power. The main thing is obvious, right? Invisibility.
Hold it, you become invisible. Straightforward enough.
Yep. But the source points out it's not just you. Your clothes go invisible too, which is practical.
Good point. Don't want any floating clothes giving you away.
And the talisman itself vanishes when it's active. Makes sense?
Okay, so far so good. Standard invisibility power.
Ah. But here's where it gets a bit weird. There's this one time, Ratso, one of the henchmen.
Oh yeah, ransom. Okay.
He makes a whole truck invisible
A truck.
by sticking the talisman in the cassette plate.
A cassette player? Seriously? That's
Yeah.
oddly specific. Magic meets outdated tech.
I know, right?
Hmm.
But here's the kicker. The people inside the truck and the money they had, still visible.
Wait, what? So invisible truck, visible passengers, and cash?
Exactly. It's such a strange limitation. Makes you wonder how it decides what's part of the truck and what isn't.
That selective nature is fascinating. It affects the big inanimate object, but not the living beings inside, or their stuff.
Yeah.
That's the kind of quirk that makes it interesting, though. It stops the power being too perfect, creates weird problems, or, funny situations.
Totally. It's those little details.
Mm.
Okay, so chronology. Where does it first pop up in the show?
Our source should have that.
It does. Episode called Snake Hunt.
Yep.
Back in that Amazon cave we mentioned.
And Jackie finds it, I assume.
Yep, Jackie gets it first.
Mm-hmm.
Plans to keep it safe, naturally. But then, things go sideways.
Oh, how so?
There's this archaeologist filming a show there. Wesley Rank. The show's called Just the Artifacts.
He steals it, the archaeologist.
Yep. Swipes it right from Jackie. The guy filming a show about artifacts steals one. Kind of ironic.
That is funny. Shows it's not just big villains after these things. Sometimes it's just opportunity.
And the story doesn't stop there. Rank sells it to a pawn shop.
A pawn shop. Seriously, he didn't realize what he had.
Apparently not. But then Rank's cameraman, Dino Stevenson, feels bad, gets it back, and donates it.
Okay, a bit of redemption there. Where does he donate it?
The New York Museum. Seems safe, right?
Uh-oh. I sense that's not the end of it.
Not even close. Enter Viper, the jewel thief.
Ah, Viper. Okay, now it makes sense. Museum heist.
Exactly. She steals it from the museum and uses it for, well, jewel heists all over New York. And she's the one who first says the line in the show.
Now you see me, now you don't.
That's the one. It's like
Right.
the talisman found someone who really appreciated its skill set.
It definitely shifts the stakes there, from accidental finds and bad judgment to deliberate, criminal use.
Yeah. Though, Jackie does eventually get it back from her. And the wiki mentions she decides to go straight after that.
Huh. Maybe dealing with a talisman or just getting caught by Jackie too many times had an effect. Interesting character beat.
It is. But wait, there's more. It's not always the real talisman causing trouble.
Oh. Fakes.
Yes. Deceptive counterfeits. Apparently this happens a few times.
Okay, tell me more. That sounds like trouble.
Big trouble. In an episode called The Rock, Jackie finds what he thinks is the snake talisman.
But it's not.
Nope, it's a fake. And this fake bites him and poisons him.
Whoa, a biting poisonous fake. That's nasty. Creative, but nasty.
Right. You got to give the villains points for ingenuity.
It definitely raises the stakes, makes you second guess everything they find.
And it happens again. In Enter the Viper, that episode where Viper first uses the real one, she pulls a fast one.
What does she do?
She swaps a counterfeit talisman for a valuable diamond pink puma, tricking Jackie and Jane completely.
Clever. Using the expectation of the real talisman's power to cover the switch.
Shows how valuable the real one is, right? That even a fake can be part of a major heist.
Absolutely. And there was another one, wasn't there? The Mount Rushmore thing.
Yeah, good memory. Valmont uses a fake to lure Jackie to Mount Rushmore.
And that fake.
Also injected him with poison. Seems to be a running theme with the fakes. Dangerous decoys.
So the counterfeits aren't just illusions, they're actual weapons sometimes. That adds a whole different kind of threat.
Definitely keeps things unpredictable. Now, speaking of how things work, or seem to work, there's a little visual quirk the source mentions.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Sometimes in the show, it looks like characters activate the invisibility like right as they're about to get hit, like a last-second dodge.
Ah, using invisibility for evasion. Makes sense visually.
Yeah, it looks cool. But the wiki clarifies the talisman only grants invisibility. It doesn't make you faster or give you super reflexes.
Right. So realistically, turning invisible wouldn't help you dodge something already about to connect.
Exactly. Just be an invisible target getting hit.
It's that classic action storytelling thing, isn't it? Sometimes the visuals bend the established rules a little for dramatic effect.
Yeah, gotta look cool. But it's good the source clarifies the actual defined power.
It is. Helps understand the mechanics versus the cinematic liberties.
So, after all this stealing, swapping, poisoning,
Yeah.
what finally happens to the real snake talisman? Does it just keep changing hands forever?
Good question. What's its ultimate fate?
Well, eventually, destruction. In the episode, the power's unleashed.
All the talismans.
Yep, all 12 get zapped by this super powerful laser blast, destroyed completely.
Wow. So that's it. They're just gone.
The physical talismans, yes. But the source says their powers didn't just vanish. They went back to where they came from.
Meaning?
Back to their zodiac animals. Okay, so the magic itself endures, just not in artifact form. That provides a nice sense of closure, actually. Return to the source.
Yeah, it does wrap things up neatly. So, okay, let's try and pull this all together. A deep dive on the snake talisman. Quite a journey for one little artifact.
Right. We saw its origin, tied right into Shendu becoming stone. Its power. Invisibility for the user clothes. The talisman itself.
But with that weird exception for truck passengers and money, can't forget that.
Never. And then its history stolen by an archaeologist. Pawned. Rescued. Stolen again by Viper for heists.
And the constant threat of those fakes, some of them even poisonous, really added a layer of danger.
Definitely. I think the really striking thing is how a simple power invisibility leads to such complex situations.
Yeah.
Theft, deception, weird magical quirks.
It really goes beyond just sneaking around unseen, doesn't it? The show used it in surprisingly varied ways, and those fakes really underline how much everyone wanted that power.
Yeah, it makes you think, if you listening right now had that power, real invisibility, what's the first thing you'd do?
Ooh, good question. Be a fly on the wall, pull some pranks.
Or maybe something else entirely. It's tempting, isn't it? Which kind of leads to one last thought to chew on. If invisibility was actually real, like scientifically possible,
Yeah.
what kind of unexpected problems might pop up? We saw some funny stuff and some dangerous stuff with the talisman.
Right. What ethical knots would we tie ourselves in? What weird side effects might appear that nobody predicted, like the truck thing, but maybe, more serious.
Exactly. Food for thought long after we wrap up this deep dive.